How did Kevin Levin get engaged to the Tetraman Princess Looma? How did Ben end up getting engaged to Kevin's fiancée?
I always knew that Kevin Levin was not husband material.
Hey!
In today's video, we'll be diving deep into the fascinating story of Ben Tennyson's engagement to Looma Red Wind, a Tetraman warrior princess. So buckle up and join us as we unravel the complete timeline of Looma's involvement in Ben's life. Let's dive into this and more twisted Ben 10 love stories as we look at the entire timeline of Princess Looma and her engagement to both Kevin and Ben. We are going to be following the story in chronological order from the time Kevin met Looma when he was 14 years old. Our journey begins with the episode Many Happy Returns from the second season of Ben 10, Omniverse. At the beginning of the story, Kevin and his friend Argit are still leading a life of crime. They end up in the kingdom of the Tetraman beings, seeking alien technology to sell on the black market. However, the king or leader of the Tetramans denies Kevin access to the alien tech. The king's daughter, Princess Looma, develops a love interest in Kevin. In order to make his daughter happy, the king agrees to give Kevin the alien tech on the condition that Kevin accepts an engagement to Princess Looma. Kevin agrees to the arrangement, and this marks the end of Kevin's story at the age of 14. Kevin gets officially engaged to Looma, but their wedding does not take place until 3 years after the engagement. This gives other people an opportunity to challenge the engagement. 3 years later, Looma hunts down Kevin, but he runs away from her and avoids all forms of communication with her. Keep in mind that at this point only Kevin and Argit know about Kevin's engagement to Looma. Kevin then approached Ben and asked him to hide him from the Tetraman Princess Looma. He revealed that he had fought and defeated Looma when he was 14 years old when he needed an engine for his car. Throughout most of the episode, Kevin kept a secret from Gwen and Ben that the person who defeated Looma would have to marry her. In the present, to prevent Earth's destruction, Ben agrees to face Looma in combat, eventually defeating her in his powerful four arms form. This unexpected victory sets the stage for their rocky relationship. Ben becomes furious after learning that he is now engaged to Looma, that Kevin's engagement is no longer valid. Kevin left with Gwen in his car, leaving Ben irritated and muttering that Kevin is so dead.
Well, that's it for now. This change of combatants restarts the engagement clock. We'll be back in 3 of your years. Save the date.
3 years?
Looma and her dad promise to come back after 3 years to complete the marriage ceremony between Ben and Looma. Apparently, their marriage ceremonies take at least 3 years. Moving forward to the 8th episode of the 3rd season, titled Rules of Engagement, we witness another encounter with Looma. The episode revolves around Ben's encounter with Festina, who is trying to attack him after stealing jewelry. Ben and his partner Rook manage to capture Festina with the help of a net, but they are interrupted when Ben's ex-girlfriend Julie appears with her new boyfriend Hervé. Ben is surprised and confused by Julie's new relationship and realizes that he may have unintentionally broken up with her in the past.
No! Come on, no! I am not ready for the next level! I am paying attention.
Meanwhile, Princess Looma Redwind, Ben's fiancée, arrives and starts causing trouble for the Kraaho, an alien species. Ben transforms into different aliens to confront Looma and protect Julie and his friends. In the end, Looma is defeated by Julie. By default, this means that Looma is no longer engaged to Ben, making Julie Ben's new fiancée. Looma honorably accepts defeat while Julie and Ben decide to remain just friends. The episode features several new character introductions, including Julie's new boyfriend Hervé, Ben's mother Sandra Tennyson, and Ship, a character that merges with Julie to form a battlesuit. Fast forward to episode 9 of the 5-season Catfight.
I shall marry the only Tetraman in the entire galaxy to ever defeat me. By Tetra's fist. This princess is willing to settle.
In this episode, 2 princesses named Looma and Attea from different alien species both decide to search for Ben Tennyson, who had previously defeated them. They search for him because they believe they each deserve to have a very powerful warrior husband as they prepare to take charge of their individual kingdoms. On Earth, Ben is on a double date with Esther, Rook, and Rayona. However, Ben becomes so engrossed in watching a movie that he fails to return Esther's romantic advances. Meanwhile, cats start causing trouble at a cinema, and Ben, Rook, Esther, and Rayona try to stop them. They encounter Nancy Chan, who can control cats with her mind. Nancy uses her powers to control Ben's alien transformation wrath, and they escape. Looma and Attea show up, both wanting to marry Ben, and an argument ensues. Eventually, they all team up to find Nancy and stop her crimes. They confront her in a warehouse, but their attempts to control wrath fail. After a series of transformations and conflicts, Ben reverts back to his normal form, and Rook arrests Nancy. Looma and Attea continue to argue, but Ben suggests they don't need to marry him to be leaders. The princesses leave, still competing with each other, and Ben and his friends reflect on the strange events.
You've both defeated me at some point or other. Neither of you need some trophy guy hanging on your arm. You're both strong, capable leaders on your own.
Our final chapter in this captivating tale takes us to the 8th episode of the 8th season, The Most Dangerous Game Show. The episode revolves around Ben being unexpectedly selected as a contestant on a popular game show called The Most Delicious Game, hosted by Charles Zenith. Ben finds himself surrounded by almost every female character he has encountered in his life, as they compete for the title of Mrs. Tennyson. However, some of the contestants are eliminated along the way due to various challenges and rule changes imposed by Zenith. Looma participates in the event as well, but she gets eliminated after making it to the top 10. Eventually, the remaining competitors are sent to the Null Void, a dangerous dimension. Eventually, Kai wins the title of Mrs. Tennyson. Ben and Kai venture into the Null Void to rescue the others. In the end, Ben manages to defeat Zenith and free the contestants from the Null Void. There is a surprising turn of events when Esther, a character Ben has a close relationship with, reveals that she is dating someone else and has moved on from her feelings for Ben. As Ben and Kai share a moment together, they accidentally kiss, and the episode concludes with a hint of a potential romantic connection between them. And there you have it, a comprehensive timeline of Looma Red Wind's involvement in Ben Tennyson's love life. From their initial engagement to the ups and downs they faced along the way, their story remains an intriguing chapter in the Ben 10 saga. In summary, the story of Ben, Kevin, and Loomer begins when Kevin, at the age of 14, meets Looma and agrees to an engagement with her in order to obtain alien technology from her father, the Tetramand King. However, their wedding is set to take place 3 years later, allowing for challenges to the engagement. 3 years pass, and Looma tracks down Kevin, who seeks help from Ben to hide from her. In a surprising turn of events, Ben ends up defeating Looma in combat, leading to the revelation that he is now engaged to her instead of Kevin. This creates tension between Ben and Kevin, as well as uncertainty about the future of their relationships. Throughout their journey, Looma continues to make appearances, causing trouble and competing for Ben's affections alongside other princesses, such as Attea. Complicated situations arise, including encounters with Ben's ex-girlfriend Julie and the involvement of other alien species. In the end, Ben manages to navigate through various challenges, defeats opponents, and saves the day. However, the love dynamics remain complex, with relationships evolving and shifting. Esther, someone close to Ben, reveals that she has moved on from her feelings for him, while a potential romantic connection is hinted between Ben and Kai. The timeline of Looma's involvement in Ben's love life highlights the twists and turns of their relationships, showcasing the intricate and often unpredictable nature of romance within the Ben 10 universe.